Alright, hope everyone's doing well. I'm just gonna get right into it. This is how I make $20,000 per month at 24 years old. This is gonna be a raw explanation. No fancy flashy edits, no BS. This is just straight value. How I'm able to make $20,000 every month. So what do I do exactly to make this much money? I buy and resell iPhones. I go to Facebook Marketplace, I search for phones in my area, I get them at a cheap price, and then I resell them again on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and I make a profit. And I also work a 9 to 5 at the same time, so I do the phone business at night and on the weekends, so I've been able to bring in a good amount of money every month. Now, why reselling iPhones? Personally, I have tried every single side hustle known to man: drop shipping, short form content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, like theme pages and stuff, random niches, affiliate marketing, pretty much everything you can think of, I've given it a shot. And this is the only thing that I've been able to stick with and make consistent money every single month. It's a simple and proven business model. Everybody knows what flipping and reselling is, but by doing it with iPhones, it's one of the largest markets in the world, the used iPhone market. Hundreds of people in your area every single day are posting their old iPhones that they don't use anymore just to get some extra cash. And most of them aren't aware of the actual market value, so they just throw it up for a few $100, when in reality it's actually priced a few $100s higher. And this is not something like drop shipping where you have to work at it for a year before you can even see success, and you might ultimately fail. You can buy your first phone today and start seeing profit instantly. Literally, all you have to do is keep searching for phones at a cheap cost and just resell them for their higher market value. You could literally find a phone for like $50 to $100 and resell it for $150 to $200, and you just keep repeating that process, and eventually you're able to afford newer phones and more phones, and it's just very scalable. And this is not reselling with like AirPods or fake replica clothing and all that. That stuff is illegal. It's scamming, and if you get caught, it is a felony. You will go to jail. So this is all legit business, and I've been able to capitalize a lot off of it. So why listen to somebody like me? I've been buying and selling iPhones for 5 years now. You could see on the right, that is a picture I took from 2019 when I first started doing this. And if you look at the picture in the middle, that is my eBay account, and that is what I've generated in sales the past few months. And that's only about half of what I sell. The rest of what I sell is in person, cash, direct buyers, all that stuff. And I'm not gonna hold anything back from this. I'm gonna tell you guys everything you need to know and everything you need to do to be able to make as much money as I do. So, how to start doing this? First, you're gonna need a Facebook Marketplace account to be able to search for phones and then sell them back. And I do recommend getting an eBay account as well, but you don't need one. Ideally, you should have at least $100 to buy your first phone. You're gonna need the time to do this, to be searching for phones, to be able to drive and meet people. Patience is also very important, especially if you're only able to afford a few devices at one time. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're capitalizing as much as you can and getting as much profit for each phone as you can. And the last piece is will, which is essentially just getting yourself in the mindset that you need to grind if you want this money. Like, this has not been easy at all. Just because I'm consistently bringing in a certain amount of money does not mean that it's easy. It's simple, but it is not easy. So you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot of your time to be able to buy these phones, because you pretty much have to drop whatever you're doing to go meet these people if you see a really good deal. So just keep that in mind when you're starting this business. So step one is going to be finding the phones. Pretty simple. You just go on Facebook Marketplace and you just search up iPhone, and you want to keep the radius pretty realistic. I would say 50 miles is the max I would drive to someone to go buy a phone. And you also want to sort by most recent phones listed, because obviously you're not going to find the best deals for phones that were listed months ago. They're going to be gone. The second piece is going to be to know the market value for each phone you're looking up. You can find these by going to eBay and searching for your exact phone and going to recently sold listings. You can look at other listings in your area and see what the median price is generally. Or there's price sheets out there of people that buy phones or sell phones, and you can kind of get an idea of what they sell for. So ideally, you're going to be looking for phones that are already priced cheap, or you're going to find phones that are kind of in the market value, and you're going to want to negotiate them as much as you can. Having great customer service is important. After all, this is a business, so you're going to want to be respectful and kind to people. So either when you're trying to negotiate and buy or sell and then meeting in person, you're just going to want to keep a great attitude, because those customers could ultimately come back and sell you more phones or buy more phones from you. So you just want to always keep good relationships. And meeting up with people is very important, especially if you find a phone that is a very good price. It is going to sell very fast. So you want to provide as much convenience as you can to the seller, and pretty much just say that you can come pick it up right away. So this is kind of what I was saying earlier, when you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. Like, you could be out and about doing stuff with your friends, and if you see a phone that is a great deal and it's like an hour away, so you kind of have to make that decision to just drop what you're doing and go get the phone, because if it's a great price, it is going to sell fast. You're also going to have to be willing to negotiate through messages, and then again in person only if something wasn't described in the listing, like if they didn't mention it was cracked or they didn't show it was cracked and it was cracked. You're going to have to get comfortable with negotiating with people in person as well, because haggling people down an extra $20, $30, $50 every time you try and buy a phone and something has like an extra crack or extra scratch or something, it's going to add up and it's going to lead to a lot more profit. So when buying phones, you kind of want to go by this checklist. You want to check the iCloud, either with the IMEI or just check in person, make sure the iCloud's signed out. And you're also going to want to check the blacklist status with the IMEI. You can do that on any website. You just want to make sure it wasn't reported lost, stolen, or unpaid bill. And then also check for any service or repairs, like replaced camera, battery, if the Face ID doesn't work, screen was replaced, etc. And then always check the cameras, microphones, and the volume, make sure they're all working. And this one's a bit tricky. In person, it's kind of hard to check if it charges or not. But if they let you bring it to your car real quick, then just pop it in real quick, see if it charges. And then any additional scratches or cracks that weren't disclosed in the listing. And then again, you can use that to your advantage and try to negotiate even further. Now for selling the phones, you just want to wipe it clean, take a damp towel with some soap and water and just give it a little scrub down. Use a toothpick to get any dust out of the charging port or around the camera lenses. Just make it nice and clean as much as you possibly can. And then take some nice quality pictures with good lighting, either outside or inside with a white background, nice clean background. And try to include some extra accessories for added value, like a charger or a case or something. It also just makes the listing look more appealing. And then again, price accordingly to the market value. So you should know the market value before you even buy the phone, but just check again, make sure you're not listing it too high and then waiting too long, or listing it too cheap and it sells out instantly. And then I would list it on both eBay and Facebook to increase your chances of selling it. These are what my listings look like. I try to get a nice clean picture for the cover, and then I just take a picture of the front, back, sides, the settings showing that it's carrier unlocked and like the battery and all that. A nice simple title with just the model, the carrier, and then if it's in mint condition, I always add mint, and then if the battery's like new, I always put that in as well. You just want to make sure it has the most appealing title and pictures so that people will click on your listing and boost your traffic. And then of course a thorough description, just the carrier, condition, storage, just saying it works perfectly, or if anything's wrong, obviously you're going to disclose that too. The battery health, and then I always say it comes with a box and charger, depending on if it comes with the box or the charger or both, whatever. And that is pretty much it. You're just going to repeat that. Again, guys, patience is going to be very important. One, for starting out this business, if you only have that $100 to start, it's going to be slow. You're going to only be working with 1 or 2 phones at a time, but eventually that is going to scale up and you're going to be able to have like 20, 30, 40 devices at once. And patience is also going to be important if you want to capitalize on the most profit as you can. If a phone is priced at around $200 and you want to put it at 200 or like a little bit higher, you're going to have to be willing to sit on your hands for like a week or two and just wait until it sells. Or if you really need the capital for more phones, then you would price it under like 180 or 170 and just make it sell fast. But make sure you're still getting good enough profit where it's worth your time to drive out, meet with the person, and buy the phone. And don't be afraid to accept offers or do bundle deals if people are buying multiple phones off you. I personally like doing this, especially if the phone has been sitting on eBay or Facebook for a while. Just because the market value for a phone is at like $500, that doesn't mean you can only sell for $500. If someone says $480 and they're willing to bring cash, like just like how you provide convenience for sellers, they can also provide it back to you. So it might be worth it to just take the $20 deduction so you can get the funds and just buy more phones with that. And another way to sell phones that I didn't really mention is direct buyers. These people sell their phones overseas, so they make a profit as well. Usually these prices are pretty under market value, so they're not the best way to go about selling your phones to. But again, if you have a lot of volume coming in and you're just looking for quick cash, this might be a great option. Never stop searching for phones. You never know what kind of deal is going to come up, and it may be worth undercutting one of your current devices to sell quickly so you can buy this one. So just keep looking for phones. And if you do have limited funds, just be selective of what you're buying. Don't try and buy some busted iPhone that's only like $10 under market value and you're just going to make a quick little flip. That's not going to be worth your time, especially if you have limited funds. So again, just make sure it's going to be worth your time and money, what phones you're buying. And if you guys have any questions, please ask them in the comments. I will be responding to all of them. And make sure you guys subscribe. I'm going to be dropping as many videos as possible to help you guys start this business. And thanks for watching.